Hey, y'all ain't subscribed yet?
Man, like, share, subscribe. Hit that like button right now.
For far too long, we've been lied to. Why are we at the bottom of society in all communities, in all cities, in all states, all over the world? Why? One reason is we keep breaking God's commandments. And we don't know who we are. This Bible is your correction. This is how we fix our communities. Let's see why we're in the condition that we're in. Give me Deuteronomy 28:15.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass.
It shall come to pass. You so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American. It shall come to pass, meaning it will happen. Read.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
What is the voice of the Lord thy God? It's not in these Christian churches. These Christian churches have separated us from our God. They don't teach laws in these Christian churches. They teach you that the law is done away with. God loves everybody. Where is that in the scriptures? Who is telling the truth? Half of the time these pastors, they even got the Bible open. We your brothers right here. We got the Bible. Come and deal with your brothers. Let us show you what thus said the Lord. Read that again.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments.
All his commandments means you cannot do what you want to do. You can't pick and choose what commandments you want to follow. You can't do that if you say you have a relationship with God. You so-called Christians, you claim to know God. But if you're not coming out of the Bible, how do you know God? Hey, my brother with the green backpack. Hey, bro, come deal with us for a second. Keep reading that.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Hey, my brother, how you doing?
Great.
What's your name?
Christian.
Christian? I'm Josiah. You believe in the Bible? If you look over here at this sign, which one of these names on this sign do you identify with? You say Mexican? What's that name to the left of that? Issachar. Now, you believe in the Bible? Okay, so the so-called Mexicans, right? And there's a reason why we say so-called. Because to the left is what God calls his children. To the right is the names that his children are called today. Why? Because they broke God's commandments. And we're going to prove that. We're going to read that again. Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Christian, what is the voice of the Lord thy God today? Does God come off of his heavenly throne and come down here and talk to us individually? Yeah? So God comes off his heavenly throne and say, hey, Christian, go do this. So what is the voice of the Lord thy God? What do you think, Christian? The Spirit? Okay, I agree with that, but what does that mean? If you was to explain to your brother or sister how God speaks to you, what would you say? How does God speak to you, Christian? Because you say you believe in the Bible, right? So how does God speak to you? You been to church before? You never been to church? You have been to church, right? How is it that us being in these churches all this time, they never taught us what is the voice of the Lord thy God? This is the voice, the Bible. Read that again.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice.
Christian, do you think the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans listen to the voice of the Lord thy God today? What's today, Christian? What's today? What is today? No, what's today? Okay, you got Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right? It's Saturday, right?
That's right.
What is Saturday in Espanol? So what day did God tell his children to worship him? To rest? On Sunday? Give me that in Exodus. So what we're trying to explain to the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the reason why we're in the condition that we're in your community, Is there gated communities? Is there manicured lawns? Is there schools for just your people, your own police? Or is there other nations governing and dictating how you move about in your own community? Is there shooting in your community? Is there drug selling in your community? Does that sound like a good community? So why is that happening to the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans? This is what we're explaining. Because we don't obey this, that's why it's happening. Because something as simple as today, we don't even know what today is. And the day, God set a day for his people. You gotta catch that bus? Hold up, but hey, call that number and check us out. We're gonna read that anyway. Give me Exodus 20.
This is Dre. He said he's mixed with everything.
Dre, you say you mixed with everything?
Yeah, I'm mixed with everything.
Okay, if you just look at that sign right there, which one of those names just jumps out at you or you identify with? We're gonna build with you.
Judah.
Judah? Okay. Why do you pick Judah, you think? What's your father's nationality? What's your father's nationality?
Black.
Black? So-called Negro, African American? Okay. So what we're gonna do, we're here to teach. And we're here to teach and explain to the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who you are according to the Bible. The reason why we're in the condition, hey bro, how are things going in your life right now? Real talk. You coasting? You doing good? You doing good? Meaning, are you working for somebody? Are you paying taxes to somebody? Are you paying bills to somebody? You ain't paying no bills to nobody? You got it like that? You ain't got it like that, right? So it can't be going good for you, bro. And guess what? These people on this side, it's the same way for every last one of us. We going through these curses. Why? Read, hold that, and go back to Deuteronomy.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15.
Dre, right? Dre, you believe in the Bible? Okay, read that.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Dre, just like I asked Christian here, what is the voice of the Lord thy God? Does God come off his heavenly throne and come down there and be like, hey Dre, I need you to do this? So what's the voice of the Lord thy God? Actions? Actions, what do you mean by that? I mean, you said actions. Believe it or not, that's scriptural. Because God, he weighs us by our actions. What do you think those actions are? Well, listen to this. Listen to this carefully. Read that again.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice.
So he said if we would not hearken. So what would the action be that God wants these people to do? Hearken means to listen. So if he said if you will not hearken, what would be the correct action for these people to do?
Listen.
There you go.
Right.
Unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Dre, what's the voice of the Lord thy God? Back to that same question. Okay, but what's his voice now? Is he coming off his heavenly throne and being like, hey Dre, let me holler at you for a minute. I got something. He is? When the last time you had a conversation with the God the Father?
Bring it out. Father.
It ain't happening, bro. Guess what his voice is? This Bible.
That's right.
This is the voice right here that we don't listen to.
Right.
You know what I mean? Keep reading.
To observe, to do all his commandments.
Right, there's that action that you talked about, to do. There's something that we must do. Read.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So Dre, he's telling us, if these people, which is God's chosen people, according to the Bible, the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, if we don't do all his commandments and his statutes, curses will come upon them. Now Dre, is curse a good thing or a bad thing?
Bad thing.
It's a bad thing, right?
Right.
Now think about it, in your neighborhood, is it mainly these people in your neighborhood? How they living?
Some are living.
No, I ain't talking about some. How all of them living. Because no matter what state you go into, what else? Come on, make it plain, bro. Struggle, right? Working what? How many jobs do we working? 2, 3 jobs, right? Putting in 30, 40, 60 hours a week. And still ain't got enough money at the end of the week.
Right.
Why is it that our neighborhoods, our own people are selling drugs to each other?
Right.
We look at people that look like us going through the same struggle. The moment he cut his eye, what we want to do? What happens in our neighborhoods, Drake, when a brother look like you and he cut his eye at you?
Right.
What generally happens? No, your brother looking at you, what we call sideways. What generally is the action between two brothers that's going through the same thing?
Yep.
What's the altercation between them two?
Motivate each other.
No, they actually end up fighting each other.
Right.
Or putting negative words against each other.
Right.
We have a tendency to call each other nigger.
Right.
Oh, spit. You know what I mean? We hate each other, not understanding that we're going through the same thing. Why? Because we chose not to keep the commandments. That's
Yeah.
right. Just like I was asking Christian, what's today?
Today's
Today the 6th. Okay, what day?
April.
Okay, what day?
Saturday.
Saturday. You speak Spanish? Okay. Saturday is not in the Bible.
That's right.
You believe in the Bible, you said, right? You been to church before? Did they? No, have you ever been to the church before? You never been to church? Ever? Okay, so we're going to show you according to the Bible what today is and what these people are supposed to do on this day. Read that.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day.
Dre, my brother, why would the Bible, the voice of the Lord thy God, have to tell the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to remember?
Remember that culture. Don't forget who they is.
Don't do what? You said it, the key word. If I tell you to remember something, why am I telling you that?
Remember your culture.
Why would I tell you to? Why would I have to tell you to remember it though? Because you would do what?
Because it means something.
No. Dre, if I tell you don't forget to do this, remember this, why would I have to tell you that? Because this book was written. You wouldn't remember.
Right.
You would forget.
Right.
So now we don't even know, like I had to ask you 2 times what the day is.
Saturday.
Saturday ain't in the Bible, Dre.
Right. Not even Monday's in the Bible.
Exactly. So what is the day according to the Bible?
Everybody day.
Let's read.
Remember the Sabbath day.
Dre, you heard that?
I heard.
What day is it?
Saturday.
Read it again.
Remember the Sabbath day.
What the day is, Dre?
7th day.
Read it again.
Remember the Sabbath day.
What's the day, Dre?
6th.
The Sabbath. Today is the Sabbath.
Right.
This is the day of rest to the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, a covenant that God made with the children of Israel forever.
That's right.
This is the day. Guess what you're supposed to be doing on that day?
No.
You're supposed to be congregating. You're supposed to be resting with us in these scriptures.
Right.
So guess what? You can come out here and heal your people. Because in our neighborhoods, we ain't good, bruh. We going through all kind of pain.
Right.
Our children are getting taken from us.
Bring it out.
We losing jobs.
Right.
We can't afford our homes.
Right.
Even when we work those 2 or 3 jobs. We don't even have places of food that's nourishing for our people.
Right.
What they got in our corners? Liquor stores.
Right.
Gun shops. Fast food. Guess what that's doing to us? Mentally and physically, it's destroying us.
Right.
And the main thing is, we don't know this.
Bring it out.
Keep going.
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
Dre, how do you keep something holy according to the Bible?
Oh, no, you gotta say responsible.
You gotta say responsible? I'll take that. But our responsibility is to obey God's commandments.
That's right.
So to keep it holy, meaning this day, it's not like any other day. And we're gonna keep reading, it's gonna explain what we're supposed to do on this day. Something as simple as not obeying the day that God made between us is what got us in the situation that we are going through curses. Because you said to yourself, curse a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
Read.
6 days shall thou labor and do all thy work. But the 7th day.
The 7th day, Dre. Dre, come on, deal with your brother. You got time, man. You got time. Say again? You got some time right now, though, right? You got a flyer? I got you. You got. Okay, I understand that. But Dre, how do we fix our communities?
Bring it out.
This is what we hear. Go back to Deuteronomy chapter 28. Give me one, though.
Okay.
Book of Deuteronomy 28 verse 1.
Bring it out.
And it shall come to pass if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Dre, deal with your brother. Where you going, bro? Understand. Hey, this is the deal. This is why the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are suffering.
What is the nation? Nation is men leading by example.